Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Remy bin Azhar and I would like to thank to my supervisor Puan Yusni bin Mat Yusof and Encik Fuad as my coordinator. Today, I would like to present about my project modeling of BLDC motor driven solar water pump with Zeta converter in MATLAB. First is for the summary from my FYP1. This is the summary that I would like to do or achieve for the proposal. Firstly, introduction. The biggest limitation of the development renewable energy are cost and infrastructure. Thus, society needs an effective method to use renewable energy as a primary source and gaining important information about renewable energy. In order to give a better understanding about the effectiveness of renewable energy, I developed a solar application called modeling of BLDC motor-driven solar water pump with Zeta converter in MATLAB. This project aims to use a BLDC motor and Zeta will act as a converter. For the problem statement, there are three problems that I can be highlighted. Firstly, difficulties in accessing electric grid in rural area. Second, due to the weather change, so the irradiance is not stable through the day. Thirdly, brush DC motor is widely used due to the simple design and easy control but needs frequent replacement and periodic maintenance. In order to overcome the problem, here is three objectives that I want to achieve. To design the water pumping based on Zeta converter and BLDC motor by using MATLAB. This is due to the rural area that need transportation to find a diesel and petrol to power the generator. Secondly, to analyze the performance of solar panel process system using MPPT. And the third is to show starting and stable speed of BLDC motor during their operation. The part 3 is methodology. This is the flowchart for my project from the beginning until I'm done designing my project. Starting from designing the solar panel, after that, construct the Zeta converter, followed by develop MPPT, and lastly, connected BLDC to the converter and record all the waveform. For the overview of the system, I will explain a little bit about it. The system is used solar panel as a power source, then it will link to the MPPT and Zeta converter. The MPPT will maximize and stable the voltage at any time during the operation. The Zeta supply DC to the BLDC motor to drive a water pump. It operates in fundamental frequency through an electric commutation. The high switching frequency and switching loss are thereby eliminated, so the efficiency of the proposed system will increase. This data show my solar specification that I use for my project. Due to power variation of the PV module, this perturb and observe algorithm is introduced. Pan-O method is used for tracking the maximum power point. The concept is PV output power is periodically measured and compared with the previous power. The MATLAB code is converted into C code and is compiled along with the other block in the model. It is straightforward to implement this algorithm using conditional statement within MATLAB. The main criteria for choosing the Pan-O MPPT algorithm are low cost, precise structure, and small measured parameter. Zeta converter. Zeta converter, known as inverting circuit converter, is made of MOSFET, a diode, two conductor, output capacitor, and a series capacitor. The construction of this converter is that these PWM pulses are given to the MOSFET, which switch the MOSFET on and off. This is how the output voltage is registered, unlike the boost and buck boost converter, which does not invert the voltage output. The output voltage is the same polarity as the input voltage but can be higher or lower than the input voltage depending upon the duty cycle of the PWM given. It is crucial to investigate the circuit at DC when both switches are on and off state. This allows analysis of voltage at several points. When the Q1 is on, capacitor CC is always parallel with Cout, so CC is charged to the output voltage, Vout. In steady-state continuous conduction mode, when the Q1 is off, the voltage through L1B is equal to Vout since it is parallel with Cout. Hence, when Cout is charged to the Vout, the voltage through L1A is equal to negative Vout, similar to the drain of Q1. On the other hand, when Q1 is on, capacitor CC charged to Vout is connected in series with L1B, so the voltage through L1B is positive Vin, and diode D1 equal to Vin plus Vout. The fourth is the result. Based on the unstable graph, root mean square RMS voltage received reached 30.97 voltage. A solar panel with a short circuit current of 8.8 ampere and open circuit voltage of 36.5 voltage based on the solar specification is capable of supplying about 249.323 watt at irradiation of 1000 watt per meter square. The transient nature of the MPPT control PV unit is studied. The maximum value obtained from the system reached 0.87 while for the RMS value maintained 0.7457. The characteristic of the BLDC motor, 1050 RPM, 1 HP, 30 volt, 3-phase BLDC motor is selected for this work. Behavior of the BLDC motor at 1000 watt-meter square is connected to a centrifugal pump are used. The variables which are back EMF, the electromotive force, and the speed reach their rated value under steady state as MPPT is tracked. The smaller pulses of the electromagnetic torque are caused by electric commutation command of the BLDC motor. The startup current of the BLDC motor is restricted to the permitted limit which allows the motor to start smoothly. Satisfactory for the solar power water pumping application, and analysis is done under standard environmental test conditions. It is realized that the high gain modified zeta converter is suitable for the purpose scheme. For the fifth is the conclusion. The performance analysis of a high gain modified structure of DC-DC converter for a solar powered water pumping system using zeta converter is presented in this work. In conclusion, this project was a success. Recommendation for the future work is improved to standalone or hybrid system, which ties to the grid and has a battery backup. With a hybrid system, there are small battery backup integrated into the setup so that if the local power grid fails, you can rely on the stored energy from the battery to power a few critical circuits in your home for a short time. That's all from me. Thank you.